Okay, Drew McAllister did not practice with the hip. TJ was actually limited. It's hard to tell. TJ McDonald. Buck's still out for the most part. He did some things. Junior Palme out, but is expected to practice Saturday. Randall tried to go, re-hurt his hamstring. Xavier did the most that he's done since week 1, so that was good. They're in practice. Dallas Kelly, Marquis Simmons, and Trey Madden all came out with injuries. Don't know much more on those. Defense did a good job today going after the ball. Had conditioning for 2 interceptions, and it was good to see them go after it. Hopefully they can do that every day without having to have a reward, just that mentality of going to get the ball.
Trey looked like went down without contact. Is there a concern that could be a really severe knee injury?
Yeah, I think there's that concern anytime, with knees where guys can't really walk afterwards, so we'll find out.
You say anything to him? Have you had a chance to say anything to him?
No, I haven't. They just carted him off.
Moving Tony to that Sam linebacker position, obviously we saw him leap up and make the interception today. What was the thinking behind doing that?
Well, it was really, after seeing the success of what Deion's done there in the move from safety to there because of the game changing, and then moving Trey, who was the backup there, over to offense. We just really looked at our roster and just another one of those, moves with the reductions of less players, that we got to investigate. And so we'll see how it looks for the rest of spring. It looks good so far, because his fast is actually bigger and stronger than Deion is. So hopefully it can work.
So far, you would assess it as he looks like he's good to go with this spot?
Yeah, it's very physical, and really goes after the lead plays, which is your worry over there. Those are what Deion has problems with, obviously, because of the size, but he's a very physical player.
You always say there's 2 ways to look at turnovers during practice, bad for the offense, good for the defense, but creating more takeaways has been a huge emphasis since you've come here, and the numbers have been lower than you thought. So you're kind of happy to see that?
Yeah, we are. I think anytime that you're really good at something on one side, limited interceptions last year with 7, and then not that good, but not as many on defense as you'd like, you kind of root for that side as a head coach as you go into spring and fall. And obviously it's the other way that you're concerned is that way, so it's actually good to see.
You're doing some different looks defensively, different kind of lineups, and is there some experimenting going on with kind of what are you trying to do?
Yeah, there is. Anytime, I think spring's better to experiment than fall, and so we started playing really well in our base stuff last year. We're very multiple. Really, after year 1, decided to really limit our defensive calls so our players can play really fast. And with so many guys returning, that they have those things down. And so we're continuing to get better at those, but adding some things.
How has the offensive line looked and performed this spring?
Yeah, well, I think that when Collin's in there, he's played really well. Abe has done good at center, backing him up. The 2 guards are playing really well. They're really improved from a year ago as they go into their 2nd year of starting. And the tackles, are a work in progress. We still got to improve there. We're actually playing better inside than outside. It kind of says to the staff that very unusual over the years here. We've been blessed with phenomenal tackle play over the years. And sometimes we've had to mess things inside, so we need our tackle play to improve.
Is Andre going to stay at left tackle for the rest of spring?
Yes.
Why are you giving him such an extended run over there?
He just fits better over there. His length and his size. When you look at prototypical left tackles, that's what they're built like. So hopefully we can work through him getting used to it over there and playing better over there.
So if you were playing a game tomorrow, would he be your starting left tackle?
Yes.
Is that a competition? Will that competition be reopened in the fall, or do you feel like you're going in that he's going to be the left tackle?
I don't know. We'll look at spring after the 15th practice and put it all together in the cups and look at it. It's looking in that direction, because Kevin will be better too. If you leave a guy somewhere you started 12 games at, he's going to be better. So there's 2 sides to it.
Today, what parts of it did you emphasize the most, or what parts of that building were most important to you?
Well, really, they would run things by me at times, but I thought that really, when Pat got here, and really turned it over to Mark, and Mark really did a great job. Mark had better information. Mark flew around the country and went to all the best places, and so they would come with ideas, and the group they hired has done a good job job too, giving us certain ideas, and then they kind of run it by me. But I really haven't had to do very much because between Mark's ideas from going around places and then Pat making sure that everything was done first class. You know, he'd say a lot of times, I don't want to redo this thing. You know, let's make sure, regardless of price, we do it right. So, as I think you guys saw, there's not much you want to change.
What do you like about it the most, or what's the most?
Well, I like that everything's there for the guys, and you know, for our current players. And then the number one thing in recruiting, you know, as you continue to see, it's about recruiting. We saw that in basketball the other night. We get really good players, and so now that we have this, walking through it already, it's already impacted the last class that signed, and this class that we're getting started on now, and it's not even done yet. So it'll be a great impact for us, you know, because it really gets rid of the negative. You know, the one negative that we had was our facilities, that we were a long ways behind. And so to not just catch up but pass other people is really big in our players. So I think, you know, having the players lounge, you know, it's just going to make a more comfortable environment there for all players.
Greg Townsend started inside, now he's back outside. How do you feel he's adjusting to being moved around?
Yeah, it was one of those things, you know, with all these experiments that we're doing, that we decided to get him back outside after putting him inside and not moving too much. So we're going to leave him outside, and he's getting better each practice. He's getting more used to it.
You think he's more comfortable?
Definitely. He's definitely more comfortable outside. And most guys are when they're young and been outside players. You know, it's easier to rush outside, and a lot of stuff goes on inside.
Well, Lamar, he says you guys kind of gave him a 55 when you first got here. When did you see that early made you decide to leave the staff?
Well, it's a very